Hi, I'm Kelsey. I'm an OpenSciEd teacher and facilitator. This video is for lesson 9 in unit 6.2. It's a short lesson that includes an investigation, so let's take a look. So how did we get here? In lesson 8, we had a big investigation. We were investigating light, how it affects the cup systems. We figured out some really important stuff. Light can transfer energy into a system. When light is not reflected and transmitted, it's absorbed, which warms up the matter. We also saw in the data that cups that are not in the light still warm up. So that drove us to wonder why. In this lesson, we're investigating the second big idea that students generated at the beginning of this lesson set, and that is that the temperature around a cup can warm up what's inside. So the thing we're wondering here is, how does the temperature of a liquid on one side of the cup wall affect the temperature of the liquid on the other side of the cup wall? Here's the lesson at a glance. This is an investigation lesson. It's 1 day long, about 25 minutes of prep time. We do have a hands-on investigation, but we don't require devices and we do not have any videos. So we have one sense-making loop in this lesson. We introduce the investigation that we have set up. Students make predictions. We gather the data and we analyze it together. From this, we figure out that the temperature of the liquid outside the cup walls are affecting the temperature of the liquid inside, or vice versa. We're not sure which is which. We just can see that it's happening. So we figure out that when the temperature of a sample of matter in one system decreases, the temperature of the matter in the neighboring system increases. When the temperature difference between the two neighboring systems is great, more energy is transferring between them. And hot or cold can move through the wall of the cup system. So we are left wondering, what's the difference between a hot and a cold liquid? I'm going to highlight one key moment in this lesson, and that is the part 3 water bath lab and discussion. So we have the water bath lab. It's a cup inside of a cup, and there's 4 different scenarios. So for example, we have hot water inside the cup surrounded by cold water outside, or we have hot water inside the cup surrounded by room temperature water. We take the temperature of both inside and outside, and then we look for patterns and we draw conclusions. So here we see that the temperature of one is affecting the temperature of the other. But which one is it? So is it the hot making the cold hotter, or is it the cold making the hot colder? This drives us towards wondering how liquids that are hot compare to liquids that are cold. So it's an important navigation piece from looking at this data. Material management tips and tricks. In part 3, the water bath lab, the teacher's edition explains that there are 3 different ways you can do this. The first is as a demo, and that's how the lesson is written. You could make this small group investigations where all the groups are doing this water bath lab, or you could provide the data and have students work on analyzing it. So if you know your students don't really need to actually see the investigation happen, but they might need work analyzing the data, then you can go with option 3. If you want to have more hands-on for all of your students, you could do option 2, but that will take more class time. Option 1 is what I have always done with this lesson, where we do it in a science circle and we demo. I do it this way for time. It moves faster and it's always worked out fine. I do involve a lot of students. So like I have students come up and one person is measuring the temp inside, one person is measuring the temp outside, one person is writing down data for the class. So I involve students as much as I can, but I do it as a demo, but you have options. We don't add any words to our word wall in this lesson. We don't add any posters either. And that's it. So based off of our data, we are starting to wonder about the difference between hot and cold and which is affecting which. So that's where we're going next. Our lesson 10, we look at the difference between a hot and a cold liquid. Thanks for watching.